Matt Duffield from mattduffieldtrading.com, and tonight we're going to look at BLFS and AXPW. Those were the two hot penny stocks of the day that I was watching, and I actually made a trade on BLFS. And before we get started, I want to remind you this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I'm not a registered investment advisor, and neither is mattduffieldtrading.com. And I have to remind you that penny stock trading can be risky, so you need to make your own decisions. On BLFS, this was a typical morning spike pattern. The stock gapped up from $2 on Friday to about, $2.80. Had a quick spike, which is very typical in the first minute or two of trading. And then price sold off. And I was watching this all through this range right here, and then it just surged. And then this happens so often within the first 15 minutes of trading. So this is important. You get a gap up, a peak, followed by a sell-off, and then if price can manage to rally back up and take out the high that was made in the first couple minutes of trading, then you get a huge up move. You know, if you look here, once it took out 335, it peaked all the way at 418, you know, just 10 minutes later. So it's an excellent pattern to watch out for. I did make a trade. I was late on this trade. It wasn't my best trade ever, but I still participated. Basically, I was late getting into the trade. I was trying to log into my account, watching this thing spike all the way up here. I didn't get it until it was at 378. Probably about 948 or so. It took a little dip and then spiked a little bit more up to $4, and I took my profit at 402. Basically, there was some resistance at that level. Plus, on the intraday time frame, I even went down to the 1 second chart. You could just tell the price action was getting really choppy, getting weak, and that told me, you know, take my profit. And that's exactly what I did. I took a 6% gain. In the penny stock world, that's not huge. In the investing world, most would love to have a 6% gain in one day. I'm happy with it. 6% gain in 10 minutes of trading, I'll take that any day. It was a good choice too, selling at 402, because from then on, price just tanked. And this is important here as well. I was watching for another entry. I thought it could bounce right here. It failed to bounce much. I mean, just a couple of percent. That's weak. Sold off again. Failed to bounce. Sold off again. Still no bounce. And at this point, you know, around noon, I was done. I pretty much gave up on this stock. Anytime you see a penny stock sell off, how much is that? 30%, 40% of its gains from its high. They rarely recover. And I'm sure other traders were watching this choppy action, buying and selling, hoping this would break out again. I knew it was done. I did take a look at it towards the end of the day, because sometimes they can come back, stage a late day rally, and then continue on the next day. This one did not. And let me show you a daily chart of this thing. It has a history. This is important too. It has a history of, you know, spikes kind of failing. This one failed on the second day. This one failed on the third day. This one had a huge move, you know, basically lost most of its gains on the first day. Same thing here. So because of that, I was quick to take profits, and you know, I'm not expecting this to continue to run like some of the other plays you've seen, like Ford, CLTX. Of course, I will watch it tomorrow just to make sure I'm wrong. But as of now, it looks like, you know, the gains have been made. This could easily tank below. If it gets below today's low, you can easily see this thing come back and test 225. So anyway, the other hot pick of the day was AXPW. Here it is. And this was pretty interesting. It had a midday breakout. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. So right around 1 o'clock, it spiked from $1 all the way up to $3, well over $3, and almost at $4 on the day. This was huge. Unfortunately, I missed this whole thing. I'm under the day trading restrictions. It's such a shame. So I had to, I saw this around the 230, 240 range, and I just had to watch it take off. That's all you can do. Consolidated nicely here into a little bull pennant. Again, I expected price to shoot higher. It did, but this time around, the rally was weak. And as you can see, it got kind of choppy in there, sold off late day. So this one's a little different than BLFS. I will continue to watch this tomorrow for this reason. If you go to the daily chart from a couple months ago, back on June 15th, it had this huge spike. And then the following day, spiked again. Let's see, it doubled the next day. But the difference is, on the first day, price closed right at the high. And if you look at today's chart, obviously nearly half of the gains were lost. And it closed under the, what is that, say $3 resistance level right there. So I will be watching this tomorrow. I don't have high expectations, but it can run again. So, we should keep that on our radar. And even if it doesn't take off and, break these highs of $4, go to $8 a share or whatever, this right here, once you get a sell-off from 380 down to 250 and it starts to perk up a little bit, you might get a nice bounce, but don't expect more than $3. Look at the new resistance, or it's not new resistance, but the intraday resistance that was made today, right here at $3. So if you see this start to move in the morning, let's say there's not a big gap up or gap down, $3 would likely be the target. Take your profit, be happy with it. I did see an after hours trading. This is down to about 225. So who knows where it will open. Just keep that in mind. I definitely wouldn't be buying this on weakness. But that's it, guys. Good luck tomorrow.